Well, we're really pleased to have Suzy Johnson with us today, who is the director of Resounding Voices, a choral group for people suffering with dementia and their caregivers here in Rochester. I asked her just before we started how long they'd been in existence, and she said 5 years. And I just recently realized that a good friend of mine from the medical complex, Bruce Rohde, is one of their accompanists, or their accompanist. And he told me that one of the highlights of his semi-retirement, which we're all in, I guess, has been to work with Resounding Voices and the wonderful gift it gives him to work with people with dementia and their caregivers. And then joining Suzy will be Robin, and it sounds like a couple other people will come throughout her presentation.
Yeah.
So thank you for being with us, and we're excited to hear about your program.
Thank you, Kathy. I am the artistic director and the conductor of Resounding Voices in Rochester, and it's really, really fun to be with you and to share the information that I have about our wonderful choir that I am super excited about. Just like Bruce, Tuesday is just a highlight for me. That's when we usually meet, is on Tuesday mornings. So it's just great to have you have that time together. And I see another person, Joel, just joined us in the meeting, and he's going to be sharing too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the lyrics to a song. We'll sing 2 songs today, but because of the fact that it's Zoom, it doesn't work real well. And so I'm actually going to have you mute yourself to sing along with me, which sounds weird. But I'm just going to read the lyrics for this first song, and you can imagine us singing it. I'd like to give the world a Coke. It actually was based on this song. I'd like to teach the world to sing. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. That's the song I hear. Let the world sing today. A song of peace that echoes on and never goes away. And that's a lot of what encapsulates what we do. Is we're trying to bring that harmony, that unity, that fun, that connection, social possibilities to people who have memory issues. It doesn't have to be dementia. It doesn't have to be Alzheimer's. It can be mild memory impairment. It can be being especially forgetful. We're not asking for a diagnosis when people join. And so what we end up with is our goal, and I don't know if we ever get to the actual goal, but 1/3 of the people would be having memory issues. And then they also come as a duet. So there's a care partner with them. And then we also have volunteers. And those volunteers are in place so that when we have singers who need some extra encouragement or maybe to share a book with them rather than having them have their own book, they're there for them and they're singing and we're having a great time. We give 2 public concerts a year. So before I go on, I'm going to actually ask Robin to share first. She is one of our volunteers, and I'll let you tell your story, Robin.
Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for having us today. I'm delighted to be able to tell you about this program. I actually joined Resounding Voices as a board member because my husband had been singing for a couple of years and was having so much fun. And we got asked to join the board at the same time. And I had gone to a concert, but I'd never been to a rehearsal and didn't think I could sing. So one day I thought I would just check out a rehearsal. And I instantly had so much fun. There's just something really special about singing together. And Suzy's motto is there's no wrong in the room. So it didn't matter that I couldn't read music very well. And didn't, really doesn't matter if you can't quite hit all the notes. Somehow, when you blend all those voices together, we sound a lot better than some of our individual abilities. So I think I had been coming to rehearsals only 2 or 3 weeks when a new duet came, and our administrator, Karen, asked if I could sit with the wife, who's the one who had dementia. So I didn't know what I could offer her. She was so nervous the first day. She was having trouble with processing language. So it's very interesting because she has the ability to read. She can read the words, but she can't always understand directions. But her husband said she is singing all the time in the house. And so he thought it would be a good thing for her. And from that first day when she was nervous and feeling uncomfortable, I have just watched her blossom over the 3 semesters that we've been singing together. She comes in so excited to sing. I mean, she's almost giddy sometimes. She cannot wait to sing. When we sing the soprano part, but my partner will sing every part if there's music in front of her. So her husband has taken to whiting out the part she's not supposed to sing, and that doesn't stop her because she's still able to learn. So she'll be belting it out with a soloist, she'll be singing with the men. It really doesn't matter. She's having such a great time, and it brings me so much joy to work with her. And her husband said, she looks forward to this all week. They practice their music together every single night. It gives them something they can still do together and something they can still share, because so much has been taken away from her. And he said, he wishes more people knew about this program. So I'm encouraging all of you as nurses, if you know of anybody who could benefit, because he said after the first concert, her mind was sharper. She retained things longer. And now she knows my name. The first semester, she could never say it, but she's learned my name. She's learning words faster. And it's just been so good for her mentally. So, and it's good for me too. I'm having such a good time. So thank you, Suzy. And thanks for having me today.
Thank you, Robin. I think that's something also to note as you're sharing about our organization, that we need volunteers. And we've actually had some volunteers join us, and then they eventually end up developing memory issues, and then they're comfortable with us anyway. And so it's just like a really good fit. So, and we take all ages for volunteers. So yeah, thank you so much, Robin. If you need to go, you can. And I appreciate you coming. Thank you.
I'd be happy to stay.
Yes, that was awesome. So I'm reading off some notes that I have, but I'm trying to be flexible and fitting in people where they can fit in. How many of you have actually sung in a choir? Raise your hand if you've sung in a choir. Okay. Yes, it's very fun. And sometimes people have memories of choirs where the director was like really crabby, or it was really stressful, or it was really difficult, or maybe the choir director told you, why don't you sing kind of quietly, because I don't know if I like the way you sound. That's pretty devastating. But our group, as Robin mentioned, there's no wrong in the room. There really isn't. I just want people to engage, to try, and we really do sound good. And if we have time at the end, I will play one of the recordings from a recent concert. We do regular choral music. It's not super complex. So I'll pick like a 2-part music, and sometimes, a lot of our music is also 3-part. And then we usually do 2 sing-alongs during our concerts, which are in unison. So we do a variety of music. We do like 10 songs a concert. So we do those concerts twice a year, and we rehearse weekly. It's on Tuesday mornings, and we gather starting at 10. People don't have to come right at 10, but for the first 30 minutes, we have a social time. So we have coffee and treats, and it is super fun because people are getting to know each other. They're supporting each other in their lives. And it's just a really great group of people who are all super supportive, obviously dementia friendly. It's just a great experience. So a lead into that now is Joel Donette is a part of a duet that has come to Resounding Voices our entire time that we've been together, all 5 years. He and his wife, Sandy, are a delight to have in the group. And I've asked Joel to share just a little bit today about his experience.
Yeah, so my wife has progressed in the 5 years that we've been coming. She used to be able to walk well and converse with people and so on. But all through the time, even now, she still enjoys singing. We do that. We do some singing every day, which we didn't do, most of the 50 years we've been married, but it has become one of those little bright lights that we still have, that she can still do. And she doesn't sing loud. And as Robin mentioned, my wife will sing whatever part she wants to, but it's the right song at the right time, and she's having fun. And the volunteers, there's a couple of them that tag team take care of my wife, and so she can sit in the altos and I can sit back with the men, and they take good care of her. She needs help sitting up, standing up, everything. But they're very good to her, and she's happy to see them every time. And so it's like I say, it's a point of light, not just for her, but also for me. The people who run Resounding Voices, Suzy, and the pianist Bruce, and the administrative assistant Karen, are all great people to be around, and it's a high point of our week to go and be with them and sing with them.
Yeah, thank you, Joel. I thought it was really interesting, Joel, your first week at Resounding Voices, maybe you don't recall this, but you came up to me and you said, I haven't really sung since elementary school. And I didn't know about this, but this is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just really encouraging to see people come and they're looking for some activity, something they can do together. What I think is really cool about being in a choir is we're all getting new music at the same time. We're all on a level playing field. And once somebody is struggling with something like memory loss, they may feel like they're at a disadvantage, but everybody's there with that new music and we're all going to learn it together. And it's a fun process, it just makes it a little corner of your world seem a little bit more normal. And like people have mentioned, it is just a really fun process. It's just awesome to have a goal and you're working toward that goal, and then you invite people to come and hear you. I mean, and people pay money to come and hear us sing. And it's like, it's just a really rewarding experience. So thank you, Joel. Let's see, Jackie. I'm going to ask the other volunteer, Jackie, and then I'll go on with the rest of my presentation, but it's just fun to hear from them. And then they know that they've shared and they can leave if they need to. Jackie, can you share with us about your experience with Resounding Voices?
Sure. I've been with the group for about a year and a half. Robin asked me if I wanted to join. I used to sing in the Rochester Pops chorale, but they didn't have enough men, so they couldn't have a chorale anymore. And actually, when I came to Resounding Voices, one of the fellows from the Rochester Pops chorale was in Resounding Voices. But I had sung in a number of other, not like choral arts level or the many, the Rochester Symphony Chorale, not at that level, but just things more fun. But my dad really was a very good singer. He had a great voice. He loved to sing, and he died of Alzheimer's in 2008. But before that, I had made him, I'd gone back to the 40s and 50s, all the really popular songs of his day. And I made could have been a tape at that point or a CD, I don't remember. But then I also typed out all the lyrics in large print and had it in a notebook so that when, at that point, my mom was doing all the driving and they would drive from DC where they lived to their summer house in Maine. And I thought, while they're in the car, he could listen to this and maybe sing along. Unfortunately, my mom had no voice at all. When we would get together in my high school, junior high school years for music get-togethers, we gave her a humazoo. So anyway, my dad was really the singer, and I just really love it. It's really great meeting other people and helping out where it's possible, or just lending my voice. And I'm so happy that there's no wrong in the room.
That's a really good mantra, isn't it? I mean, I use it every once in a while too. I think it's really, it's just so nice to have this accepting environment where we're not judging you, and we're not going to be like angry if you entered wrong into that phrase or whatever. I mean, I'll give cues. I'll say a big rest when some people will want to tend to sing, but it's a very collaborative environment. So I was going to share with you then about some of the powerful benefits of singing. And some of these you may know very well and very familiarly, but I still think it's important to review these. Singing lowers our cortisol and relieves stress and tension. It's giving us emotional and psychological benefits. Studies have shown that when people sing, endorphins and oxytocin are released by the brain, which in turn lowers stress and anxiety levels. So there's no cost to being, I mean, there's a little cost being in the choir, but actually to just sing and participate and just connect with people through song, it's free. And yet it helps us almost like a medication. Singing boosts our confidence, which is good for, I think, all of us at all ages. Singing is a mindful activity. When you're singing, you're fully focused on it. And this allows you to turn off your stream of consciousness and live completely in the moment, distracting your mind from negative thoughts, focusing on the sound, the action, the breathing, the feeling, and the pleasure of song. We also have social benefits from singing in a choir. Singing improves social bonding and social cohesiveness. Singing is an intimate activity. And when you share it with others, it helps strengthen bonds. I feel like you're sharing part of your soul when you're singing with people. Now, even if you're singing just like a fun or funny song, it's still a little corner of, or a little kernel of who you are, and you're letting that be known to the people around you that you're singing with, and also to your audience. And that's just a special way to be alive and be human, right? It's just a really awesome opportunity. Some other things that singing does: singing creates a strong sense of community and social inclusion, which is really important for individuals who have memory issues. They should still be part of the world, part of the community. And it's really important, excuse me, that we join together and we have that common goal, and we're learning that music to share with family, friends, and the general public. So there's some other benefits too. Physiologically, singing strengthens the immune system. I don't know if you've heard that, but immediately after singing, studies have shown that singers have higher levels of protein, immunoglobulin A, an antibody known to benefit the immune function of mucous membranes. Singing improves our breathing. When you learn to sing, you learn to breathe well, and you use your diaphragm, and you increase your oxygen intake and lung capacity, which is good for all of us again. And you can call singing an aerobic activity, and it increases your overall health. And also, which is really special, I think, is singing helps with pain. In studies conducted with people suffering chronic pain, singing has been shown to alleviate the pain symptoms for not just immediately afterward, but sometimes for up to 6 months later. That's pretty powerful, right? So I think we should just take a moment now and sing. So like I said, it's a little weird, but I'm going to actually ask you all to mute your Zoom, and we're going to sing a song together. Can I share my screen? I think I can. I'm just going to get that pulled up, share my screen. Let's see. I think that's what I want. Yeah. You can see, can you see Do Lord there? Yes. All right. Awesome. So we're going to sing Do Lord. I've got to turn to it in my book. I've got a lot of things spread out in front of me here. All right. So this is a common or a fun song that I thought maybe y'all knew. Do Lord. I'll find a spot for it. And start with the chorus, then we'll sing the verse, and then we'll go back to the chorus. Okay, here we go. Do Lord, oh do Lord, oh do for me. Do Lord, oh do Lord, oh do for me. Do Lord, oh do Lord, oh do for me. I've got a home in glory land that shines with sun. I've got a home in glory, land that I've chosen. I've got a home in glory, land that I've chosen. Yeah. All right, you can unmute now. It
I'm
just,
afraid we totally lost the sound on that last part, Susie.
oh no, you didn't hear?
On the last chorus, yeah, we just lost it. It would come and go and then we lost it. So I don't know.
Okay, I think I can't blame it on my bad connection at my house, which is always the case. I'm in a room, so I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Yeah.
All right, well, hopefully you
Fine.
enjoyed singing part of it with me.
Yes.
All right. Well, the singing part is a little bit tricky, so we won't maybe do that again, but I was just going to talk a little bit more about social singing, so being in a choir. I suppose I wouldn't need to have this. Let's see. Stop the share. There we go. All right. So the magic of music, particularly the singing of songs that an individual with dementia has known for many years, because I tend to pick songs that are familiar to people. So we focus a lot on pop music, but we also have a variety of different songs that we've sung. But using that type of music with somebody that knew that music back long ago, that activity draws upon intact regions of the brain. The music is a super stimulus, drawing upon brain systems unaffected by dementia that permits those with the disease to participate in choir to the same degree as any other individual. This is a critical consideration for increasing social contact and reducing stigma. So it's just a really cool thing. And you know what, when Joel's wife or Robin's partner sings on the wrong part, I really don't care. It works out. I actually tell people, we hand out the music, and like I said, sometimes there's 2 parts, sometimes there's 3 parts. I just tell people, if you are overwhelmed by the parts, just sing the melody, because somebody's always singing the melody. I try to pick music, or I actually arrange music, and I've written some music too, so that it works out if somebody just sings the melody the whole time. So we're not doing like a fugue or some complex, structure of music, but that doesn't mean that our music is necessarily all easy. But I try not to give a whole lot of hard stuff. So, but yeah, we're actually doing something. Do you remember Listen to the Rhythm of the Falling Rain?
Well,
Listen to the rhythm of the fall. Right, yeah.
one of my
Yes, we're
favorites.
doing that one. And I actually listened to it, I don't know how many times, over and over and over, to get the elements. And I wrote it all out. And we're actually performing our concert this spring with instruments. So we have somebody who plays saxophone, flute, and clarinet, not all at the same time, just separately. And then we have a trombonist, and I'm going to be playing my trumpet on a couple things. And then we have Bruce on piano. And then we're going to have a drummer, and we're having a bass player too. So on our songs, on almost everything, we've got these extra players and performers. So it's going to be really, really fun. So just to kind of recap everything, choir or singing in a choir like Resounding Voices, it will improve your quality of life and affect. It will reduce agitation and distress. And you may actually see modest gains in memory function. You can't really promise that for everybody, but for some people it is. You get a moderate gain in memory function for people living with dementia. And there are much larger gains observed for the caregivers. So it's just nice to be with a group, and you don't have to apologize or say, well, I don't know, or, it's just like, you be who you are. We love you for who you are, no matter what. And it's a good feeling. And plus we get to do great music every week. I'll pick a theme. So this spring concert is weather related. So we have some, and it's specifically for spring. So it's sun and wind and rain. So all of our songs have something about sun, wind, or rain in them. So yeah. So are there any questions before I share? Because I'm going to also share a recording of us singing so you can kind of see what does it look like. It's not rocket science, let me tell you, but it's pretty fun to see them in action.
Suzy, tell us about your concerts so everybody knows about your concerts.
Yes, our concert is coming up on Mother's Day, which is May 14th, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I'm not good with dates.
Yeah, I know.
May 14th at Calvary Evangelical Free Church. That's in Rochester. It's on 55th and
Yeah,
25th.
Northwest.
Yeah.
At 2 p.m.
2 p.m. It's $10. Tickets are $10.
And we have Tom Overly singing with us.
Yes, that's right. We have our guest
Special
soloist, Tom Overly.
Marvelous.
It's super exciting. Yeah, it's going to be a great concert. I'm super excited about it. And I think, I would encourage people to attend. Anybody to attend, right? And even if they think, well, I don't know if I'm going to want to do that choir, maybe they'll come and they'll be interested. And another thing to note is that they can visit us anytime. So they can come to rehearsal anytime and observe, because I think it's really hard to join a group like this without, sight unseen and saying, okay, I'm going to sign up and I'm going to pay the fee and I don't really know. So we only ask that people let us know that you're coming. That's the only requirement for visiting us. And pardon me while I get a sip of water. I've got a little bit of a scratchy throat.
So, and while you're doing that, so that's Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. that you meet?
Yes.
Is that also at Calgary?
Yes, Calvary Evangelical Free Church. Yes.
And so
And we
I
meet.
have a question, Kath or Suzy from Northfield. Could somebody? I have two people from Northfield who have been in, our church choirs who have dementia. Could they come from Northfield?
Oh, absolutely. They can come from however far away they want to. We'll take everybody that that wants to join us. Yes, it's not limited to Rochester proper. It's anybody who wants to drive that. We've had somebody from Austin join us.
And could they come like with a sister instead of a spouse or something like that?
Yes, it does not need to be a spouse. It can be a friend, a child. Yes.
And then one question, one more, sorry. One of them has frontal temporal dementia, so sometimes can be disruptive. How does that make a right in the room?
How does that manifest?
Well, I haven't really seen it like in a choir situation, but I have in anger or with spouse or I mean, it's a female who's a small person.
Yeah.
But she has hit her spouse, so
Okay.
I don't know if she would do that in a choir setting.
I don't really know. I mean, it might be worth a visit, have them come and then we just.
I think a visit's a great idea. So
yeah.
I would do that for.
Yeah, I mean, even just to have one outing and sing in a choir that day is it's worth a try, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can do some research and see if there's anything that we should know ahead of time.
Okay. And I was going to say, I would actually, that was the sister one that I would think she would do better maybe with her sister, and her sister's in a choir too. So, that might be a good practice for together.
Yeah.
Is your Kathy's Zarling, will you have Suzy's contact information?
Yeah, yes, I have it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds
And
great.
we have a website too.
Yes.
So www.resoundingvoices.org. And there's all sorts of information on there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great question. Anybody else have any questions before we?
Yeah, I'd like to ask, now Robin was a volunteer. So are you saying that I mean, every individual that comes needs not a care provider, but a duet, a partner. So they either come with someone like Nancy shared, a family member, a good friend, or volunteers such as Robin help once they get there. Is that how it's done?
Yes, so you have the duet sign up. And part of that is safety for taking the person there and to know that they're going to be paying, not necessarily paying a lot of attention because they can be in a different section, but if there was an emergency, they've got, a person there. So they need to come together with somebody. And we've had, I've actually visited with the Giving Voice Choir up in Minneapolis, which is, we're modeled after them. They actually had somebody there that one week when I visited that came with a visiting angel. So it doesn't have to be the same person every week. Ideally it is. There is one woman in our group who is, her daughters take turns bringing her. And then one of the daughters is going to sing in the choir at the concert, but not all of them. So, I mean, any combination, and actually nobody is forced to sing in our concerts. So if they really don't feel comfortable or they feel like their mobility is, questionable or, whatever, they don't have to sing in our concerts. So we do occasionally have somebody that just doesn't participate in that part of it, but they're still part of our group and we still treat them as if they're, because they're part of our group, right?
So when you say the duet, so a family member would bring them, but might it be the case where the family member, for instance, is just there and listens, doesn't sing in the choir, and then a volunteer would do that?
We will allow that, but we strongly encourage both of them to sing just because it is actually, we've had several people come and say, well, I'm not a singer. I'm only doing this for my spouse, or I'm only doing this for this reason. And they end up finding out they really like it. And I hope that you found, even though I disappeared on the last chorus on Do Lord, that it makes you feel better to sing. It just does. It lifts your spirit. So, I mean, we wouldn't force anybody, Kathy.
And one more question. I'm trying to get a sense of like the volunteer, because I know some people that would like to maybe help with a group like this, but maybe they don't have a family member.
That's okay. You can just volunteer.
Life, so they could just volunteer and come and sort of be.
That's
Is that what Robin's? Oh, go ahead,
That's what
Jackie.
Jackie does.
Well, that Robin and I both do that. I mean, Robin got someone that she sort of sits with all the time. But, I've sat next to Joel's wife, Sandy, when her other regular people weren't there. Or you just, you help the person next to you when they need to stand up, or if they have an issue of what page are we on? Where are we starting now? And so it's pretty easy to be helpful, even if you're just there as a volunteer.
Okay.
Yes.
If we didn't have the volunteers, we wouldn't have as good a sound because there wouldn't be as many voices singing.
Yeah. So the volunteers help on many levels. Yes.
Good.
And I would admit that I haven't been to two. I'll be missing this concert and I missed one other one. So I've been in it for 3 seasons and I've only been to one concert. And that concert was so awesome. I really, I wish I was, not so busy doing other things.
Otherwise, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that explains the volunteer piece, because I wasn't, so the volunteers wouldn't have to come as a duet. They come and say, I want to volunteer and help wherever I can, and I'll sing too. So that, okay.
Thank you for asking that question to clarify.
That's great.
Yep.
Anybody else have any questions about? Before we started, Suzy was sharing, and I don't know, I had said, are there other Resounding Voice groups? I don't know where I wrote that now, but I think you said Winona has one.
Winona
Austin
has one. Winona, Eau Claire, Mankato. Our friend that used to be with us from Austin, I think at one point she was hoping to encourage that to start in Austin, but I don't think it did. I don't think anything happened with that.
Okay. And you said in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, the Twin Cities has several groups, like 4 or 5, maybe.
And the Twin Cities actually had it as a program up there. It was wonderful. So it's
say that again, Yvette. How do you mean that, Yvette, as a program?
FCNN Twin Cities featured them as one of the speakers for one of the continuing education programs.
And that's the community nurses, Suzy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Great.
okay. Any other questions? Because if not, then I'm going to share a video with you. I can find it here. Does anybody have any questions? No? All right. So I'm going to share this video. Let's see. Am I on share screen anymore? I'm not, am I? I will do that. I'm able to do these things, but I'm not super techie. Okay. Share screen. And here we go. All right, this is a song that I actually wrote. I got a grant through the American Composers Forum. So it'll start with the lyrics of the song and then I'll let it play. The first song is called Take It Easy, and I'm going to read the lyrics for you. So you get the message. When your stresses are growing, but you want to keep it going, take it easy. You can face what lies ahead. There is wisdom to be said. Take it easy. I'm determined, don't you see? And I'll keep growing. I'm still me, so take it easy. I am here, I am now. Take a look and say, wow. Take it easy now, my friend. Start a trend. As we walk on down the road, just take a hand to share the load and take it easy. Join together and you'll see our potentiality. Take it easy. And I'm delighted to have guest musicians, Annika, John, and John with us.
We're losing the sound.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We can't hear it at all.
We heard you speaking, but once the music started, it went away.
Okay. Trying to stop it. Okay. All right. I'm really sorry. I don't know how to do that. I don't know why it's for me.
I wonder if everybody muted themselves so that you had a little bit more bandwidth for, and
Okay.
then we could just listen, maybe.
See if that works. Just come back in and tell me if it doesn't. All right, we'll just skip that part. There are some clips online. So if you go to the website, you will see it. So I think that might be the easier way to do it. I'm sorry about that. I didn't even think about checking my technology.
Well, I don't know that it matters. I have to tell you, our choir of 20 to 40 people has practiced on Zoom the whole time, over during COVID. And just recently, when April, our director's talking, it's fine. But when she starts playing the music, we can't hear the accompaniment if we're zooming in. And we never noticed that before. So go figure. I don't know what it is. The voice is fine, but the music just fades off. So
that is interesting. And I don't know that that's been a problem in the past, because we've done that with Resounding Voices during the pandemic. We were meeting through Zoom. So yeah. Oh, I did want to mention too that we meet year round. So we don't meet every month. So we take the month of January off and we take part of December off. We take, we're going to take off, I think 3 or 4 weeks after our concert, but then we do have a summer session.
Oh, okay.
Our summer session does not have a concert at the end, but we do have that gathering where we're working on. We're going to sing some of the songs from the previous concert, but then we're going to also start our stuff for the fall. And so we get a little bit of a jump on that so that it's easier to get our music ready for the fall, which is kind of nice.
Well, Suzy, you mentioned 2 concerts a year. Is there one during the holidays or late in fall, or when is your other one?
Our other concert is, I think it's either the Sunday before Thanksgiving or 2 Sundays before Thanksgiving. And then we take a break. We do have a holiday sing-along that we offer to the entire community to come and sing. And we sing Christmas carols. We have some instruments, and it's just a really fun gathering to just celebrate the holidays. And then we have a break, like I said, until February. And then we have a May concert. So
Okay.
yeah, and I do all sorts of adaptive things for the choir. It's still a classic rehearsal, but I have lots of letters in the music. So I'll say, let's go to letter A as in apple. And then I'll repeat that 1 or 2 more times. And then I don't go fast to get there. I wait for people to have that delay in processing time.
Mhm.
And that's the benefit of having the volunteers, to help you find where you are. But I have one member whose husband now is in memory care, and he's unable to be in the choir anymore. But she went with her husband to the Rochester men's choir. And she was allowed to do that to help him navigate because he had Alzheimer's. And she said, oh my goodness, you adapt so much for your rehearsal. It's so much easier for him and for me to be here and to function. And so he was able to be with us until I don't think he sang in our fall concert, but yeah, that was the lifelong thing that they did together, was singing choir. It's so sweet when people can continue to do that. But I have practice CDs that people get, or they can use tracks online. We have our notebooks. Everybody gets their own set of music, and we copy it so that they can write all over it. If they want to highlight the line that they follow, they can do that. And they can mark it up, with an X, don't sing here, or however they want to do that. That makes it easier for them. And then, like I said, I slow the pace down, and we don't do all 10 songs every week. Now this week we will, because we have just a week and a half until our concert. But yeah, it's very attainable for everybody to be in this choir. And if people don't like to use the music, or if it's confusing to them, we actually have lyric sheets.
Oh,
So, and we craft the lyric sheets so you can kind of see that you sing these things, and then there's a space, and then the alto sing this, and then I sing this. So it's really a visual way to just be able to follow along with music, but without having to actually look at the music. So.
And I would say that during the rehearsals, the other thing that I think is ingenious is that Suzy has us stop in the middle of the rehearsal. We all stand up and we do this move and groove so everybody can stretch a little. And then we all sit down, and she always has some really incredible fun facts about, to be honest, a friend sent an email on Friday that Friday was National Hairball Day. But she always comes up with whatever funny day it is and some fun facts about what happened in that day in history. And it really is so enjoyable. So it makes the whole time even more enjoyable.
Yeah. And we also have a little bit of time, getting to know you is what we call it. And we've done it where people can just tell their story, like I've lived in Rochester all my life, that kind of story. Or this time because we have weather related songs, we're actually encouraging people to share weather stories about their lives. So we've heard some really interesting things. The last concert we did it was called a choral quilt. And we had people bring heirloom quilts. We had people bring quilts that they'd received from friends. And we actually had a little mini quilt show at our fall concert, which was really cool. So we're trying to integrate, like all sorts of interesting facts and ways to connect people. And it's a privilege to be able to work with people like this. It's just a fantastic group of individuals. I can't say enough good stuff about it. And I feel like more people need to know about us. More people need to join us, because I think there are people. I mean, we're in a very large area of the state where we should be having, there's many reasons why people don't join us. A schedule conflict, from that, or maybe they're just timid or whatever it is, but do encourage people because it's, and visit, you know, and if any of you can visit us at least once, it would help you to be able to explain,
Yeah.
you know, this is really worth going to one time and seeing what you think.
So we could just send you an email and just ask, and Susie's on the email, so you've got her email. And just ask if we could sit in.
Yes, that would be the best way. And actually go to the website. I think that's going to be a better way because you're going to get Karen Rory, who's my program coordinator. And Karen is my secretarial help or administrative help. I am creative and kind of, yeah, I need help with that kind of stuff. So she helps me. So you're better off. I mean, I will get back to you, but Karen's quicker. Karen's a little quicker than me. I will answer any questions. I do answer email quite well. So don't worry about contacting me, but through the website might be more effective.
Just a couple of things. One question, you said you have like that refreshment time so people talk. Is it, so what do you take, like a half hour to do that on Tuesday mornings? And is that your story sharing time? And then you,
Oh, that's actually, that's just visiting however you want to visit. The sharing about yourself is midway through our rehearsal.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So I hate to do this, but I do need to go. I actually have another event in the next room. So I'm glad I got to talk to you now because I really hope you can come to our concerts and tell people and join us. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, Robin and Jackie, thanks for being with us too. And Joel, it was great.
Yes.
We will encourage people to send emails if we have questions. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye now. Bye-bye. Oh, I saw a cattail. That's so, it's just wonderful. It's something that we could really, you know, learn more about for our parishioners. I know in our congregation, there's so many people that could benefit, but it's like Susie said, you know, they're timid. I think they're intimidated sometimes. And like she said up front, we just don't want to, people don't want others to know sometimes that they have dementia. Well, I guess.